Welcome to the Nightly Real Fake News. I'm your host, Robert Sincada, filling in for Chris Hunt, who's unable to make it after a dental assistant seen in his mouth during a checkup. There are several breaking news stories as we come on the air tonight, from religious shopping hooligans find new methods of confronting Black Friday during a raging pandemic. We take to the streets to hear your comments or criticisms of mail-in ballots, and cheap solutions for those delicious Thanksgiving dinners. Stick around for all this and more. In our first story for the night, at the end of November comes a holiday meant for coming together, getting a good fill, and of course, beating the living crap out of each other over the last Samsung microwave. That's right, we're talking about Black Friday. Now, we understand there is a religious following for this holiday. Think of the purge, but with only the carnage and zero shoplifting. Now, due to the ongoing pandemic, many have thought that the more traditional, in-person Target, Best Buy, and God forbid Walmart mosh pits were not going to occur. However, for these rabid shoppers, they may have found a workaround. During the many months of quarantine, future Black Friday shoppers have learned the ways of the Force and have all become Jedi. This way, they can continue to thrash each other while maintaining their 6-foot distance. We have a statement from the CDC. We are not yet 100% sure, but so far, studies have shown the virus cannot be transmitted via the Force. Now, these Jedi shoppers have already tested their new methods at this year's Toyotathon. A Toyota salesperson said, "Toyotathon has never been violent. I have no idea where these people came from and why they are fighting. We have plenty of Tacomas to go around at crazy low rates." Now, this quote was excerpted from their obituary. The victim was reportedly stabbed with a lightsaber at this year's Toyotathon. In our next story, after a hard-fought legal battle, the Coca-Cola Company has officially acquired the property rights to the holiday of Thanksgiving, which they now intend to rename Pre-Christmas. Insiders suggest their next target is Halloween. 83% of all Thanksgiving and Black Friday profits go straight to the Coca-Cola Company. Now, moving on to the 2020 election, this has been an election like no other. Americans across the country are either extremely happy or ready to start another civil war. Real Fake News on-ground investigation team interviewed these voters.
Once the votes are in, it'll be clear that Jeb Bush actually won the election. Bush 2020.
Everyone's talking about all the mail-in ballots, but what about the female ballots?
There was an election?
Turning to the 2020 holiday season, the CDC has released a new wave of coronavirus safety guidelines in hopes of preventing rising case numbers extending into the new year. In their latest guidelines, the public agency asks that anyone holding large Thanksgiving gatherings ensure that all food items can be ingested through a straw, so that guests can safely eat while wearing their masks. Head Director Bob Bedfield of the CDC suggested this during this evening's press conference. Put the turkey in a blender. Whip the mashed potatoes extra hard until watery. Opt for pumpkin and pudding pie instead of apple, as it is much easier to sip. Makes sense to me. Real Fake News now welcomes food correspondent, convicted criminal, and author of New York Times bestseller, From Crap to Scraps, Fred. Here to show us how to make a Thanksgiving meal on a budget. How are you doing, Fred?
I've been better. Money's a bit tight. Child support bills piling up. Living on my own isn't easy. But it's all part of the creative process, and it's definitely going to help me write my next book, which should hopefully be out in like a month or two.
Well, that's nice to hear. So what type of dish are you going to make for us?
Today, I will be showing you how to make a delicious and filling Thanksgiving feast that can feed the whole family for under $5. So, first things first, can't have Thanksgiving meal without the turkey! And typically, I would actually suggest catching some local fauna, like a pigeon or a squirrel, and using that as the centerpiece of the meal. But I have not had much luck with that lately. So instead, we're going with boar's head hickory smoked turkey slices. You can find this at most delis. Pro tip, if you ask the deli clerk for a sample, you usually get that slice for free. So, boom, still under $0. Next up is the iconic mashed potato. This will only run you a few cents. And don't even bother mashing it. That all comes when you chew it anyway. So, then the last thing, obviously no meal is complete without some veggies. Got to get all those food groups in. So I stole a couple of these from my neighbor's garden. You can get any veggie of your choice. I like green beans personally. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You don't have to add gravy, but I'm a fan. So I usually sprinkle some of this on and use it as a dry rub. You're supposed to mix it with water, but that's just too much hassle for me. So get some of that flavor in. And then you just pop the whole thing in the microwave on high for 20 seconds. And then we're eating, boys. If you got a sweet tooth, though, for dessert, you should get yourself some dried cranberries and candied pecans. Even better than pecan pie, better than cranberry sauce. Much less expensive. Look at that. Delicious. Thank you so much for having me on. I hope this helps you guys out. Oh, let it cool off first. Let it cool off.
Well, thank you for that, Fred. That's all the real fake news for now. Thanks for watching and have a happy Thanksgiving and... Whoa, looks like the Civil War is starting early in my area. Well, once again, have a happy Thanksgiving and may the Force be with you.